Good morning. Welcome to our PhD hooding ceremony. We've got a few last-minute things we want to walk you through ahead of your big moment today. We're really glad you're here with us in historic Bobby Dodd Stadium, and really excited to be celebrating with all of you earning that PhD today. So, Ayana and I are going to walk through some things you need to know ahead of the ceremony that'll help things go smoothly. So follow along for just a couple minutes and we'll get you squared away here. So the first thing that's going to be happening today, after our speeches, we're going to want to make sure that you are ready to go with your grad pass. So go ahead right now, get it pulled up on your phone. You're going to want to take a screenshot of that, right? It's going to make things much simpler today. It's going to make everything go really smoothly. Something else to keep in mind, Diana?
Yeah, another pro tip is turn that brightness all the way up. You're going to scan it at this booth, but you want to make sure that brightness is turned all the way up.
Okay, so what's going to happen with that grad pass? You're going to scan it at this station right here. That's where the brightness is going to come into play, right? Ayana, have your phone out and ready to go there. If you hear a beep, you're good to go. If not, there are going to be folks here who are ready to help you. We've got a troubleshooting table ready to go to help you with any problems that you don't have. So if you don't have your grad pass right now, don't worry. We've got folks up here who can help you out. If you do have it, screenshot it, save it on your phone, turn that brightness all the way up. So
turn it up.
What happens next after you scan?
All right, guys, remember that when you get up here, you got to keep your hood on your right arm. Friends and family, this is your moment. When you see your graduate lining up, get those phones ready. But graduates, I want you to make sure you keep that hood on your right arm.
And one other point, don't clench onto this too tightly. Just sort of drape it over your arm. It'll make things much simpler when you get here. So there'll be a hooding assistant. Tell us what happens from there, Ayana.
Yeah, so you're going to pass your hood to your hooding assistant, Dr. Isbell, who'll be waiting right here on the stage. Then you'll face the audience so everyone can see you. If you're a little tall, duck down, and you'll get hooded. Remember to face the audience.
I think this is the only time I'll ever get to wear this because I will never earn a PhD. So I need to enjoy this while I can. What's going to happen after
Stephen.
that? One thing to remember, advisors walk up behind your student. That'll make things a lot simpler when you do the pass off of the hood to the hooding assistant, Dr. Isbell. You're going to cross the stage. Right here, a very big moment where you get a stunningly accurate replica of your diploma right here. And then we're going to continue to cross the stage this way. What happens over here?
All right, you're going to go down here and take your photo with the Rambling Wreck. And you're going to make sure you get that photo, soak it all in, and that's not all. After that, you're going to head over to the tent where you'll get a gift from the Georgia Tech Alumni Association.
Yeah, we couldn't let you leave without one last picture to remember everything by, a picture with the Ramblin' Wreck and a gift from the Alumni Association. So all those things to keep in mind. Get that grad pass ready. Turn
Keep the brightness up.
Brightness up on the phone. That's going to help everything out today. Hooding advisors who are with your students, walk up the ramp behind your student. Again, don't clinch that hood. Drape it over your right arm and have that ready to go for Dr. Isbell, who will be helping with the hooding ceremony today. We're really excited. It's a great moment,
So
isn't
excited.
it?
What a great day for all of you. We can't wait to celebrate.
Beautiful weather today here in Bobby Dodd. We've got everybody in their gold ready to go for this PhD ceremony. So let's get things started. Congratulations, graduate, on your big day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Please rise and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare amongst bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. My name is Angel Cabrera, and I have the honor of serving as Georgia Tech's president. Before we start today's proceedings, I would like for us to take a moment to recognize our students who are preparing for military service, as well as veterans and active service members. Also, I would like to recognize the healthcare workers and the many individuals who put their personal health at risk this year to keep the rest of us safe. If you're a doctor, a nurse, a healthcare worker, a first responder, or again, if you have served or are currently serving in any branch of the U.S. military, please rise so we can recognize you. Thank you so much for your service. I am now pleased to introduce Isabella Tavi Sanders, a PhD degree candidate in industrial engineering, who will give the student reflection. Isabella.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Georgia Tech is about creating the next. As PhD graduates, according to Wikipedia, we must have produced original research that expands the boundaries of knowledge. That's a pretty daunting task. But since we're sitting here today, we achieved that. Take a second to let that accomplishment sink in. We created the next PhD in our field. But we didn't get here alone. My biggest supporters have always been my parents. I am the daughter of a Cambodian refugee who went to high school in Atlanta and was the first woman in her family to graduate from college. I am also the daughter of a Georgia native and Army veteran who got his PhD in ACO from Georgia Tech. I am the first woman in my family to get a PhD. Many of you sitting here today are the first in your family to get a PhD. At Georgia Tech, we are here to create the next. It is our duty to make sure that though we are the first, we should not be the last. Even though our names are alone on the degrees we are receiving today, I encourage you to think about the people who made it possible. Whether it was the building manager who let you into your lab at the crack of dawn, or the undergrad who simply said, "Thank you," at the end of a course you taught. Your peers who studied with you through midterms, finals, and comprehensive exams got you here today. That third grade teacher who taught you how to write enabled you to finish your dissertation. The admins in your department who helped you run student events were always cheering you on. The faculty and staff who helped run the COVID surveillance testing program kept you safe. Your friends who went with you to Waffle House and football games even when they had work to do. Student organizations like SWE and intramural sports that gave you a sense of community. Your advisor who stayed up all night submitting your rec letters made sure that you got a job. And even that one relative who kept asking you when you were going to graduate gave you the motivation to finish your PhD. Now that you've thought about the people who have supported you, I encourage you to think about what you can do to help create the next. For those of us going into academia, we can create the next by supporting an undergraduate research project. For those of us going into industry, we can create the next by taking the time to mentor that intern that's still a little lost. We can even create the next by encouraging our future children to come to Georgia Tech. To quote Stan Lee, "With great power comes great responsibility." We are Georgia Tech PhD graduates, and we can create the next. Congratulations, class of 2021. We made it.
Second, I have a little gift for you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Isabella, and good luck in your new career as a professor of industrial engineering at West Point. You made us all very proud, including your parents, who I got to meet a minute ago. So graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, family and friends, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 260th commencement exercises here at the Georgia Institute of Technology. What a pleasure it is to be here together in Bobby Dodd Stadium. To those of you who are watching from afar, we welcome you as well to this celebration. Whether you're joining us from anywhere in the state, in the country, or around the world, we are very excited to celebrate this milestone with you today. Bienvenidos a todos y muchísimas felicidades. As a Georgia Tech alum myself, I am proud that all of you are now joining our impressive worldwide network of talented individuals. Many of our alumni are here with us today to celebrate proudly the accomplishments of family and friends about to graduate, including Isabella's dad. Will all alumni who are here with us in the audience please stand so that we can recognize you? Love it. Love to see the legacy continue. To welcome the members of this graduating class into the Fellowship of Georgia Tech, I am pleased to introduce Jocelyn Stargell, classes of 1982 and 1986, and chair of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. Jocelyn?
Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, President Cabrera. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you into a very distinguished group of the Georgia Institute of Technology. Welcome to our family of 175,000 alumni. We've been rooting for you and are happy to see you cross this finish line. Just like family, we've been behind the scenes cheering for you, raising funds towards your experience, and in providing guidance or support when needed. we have a vested interest in your continued success. I remember when I arrived at Tech, a New York City-born, Maryland-raised black female who loved math and wanted to be an engineer. Very unconventional at that time. Almost 700 miles from home, I quickly felt that I had found my people, my community. The Georgia Tech community was there to celebrate the highs and pull me through the lows through my time at Tech and beyond. They became my family. Just know that you can always call Tech home. This is a special place that has prepared you to go out and solve the big problems of the world, and as alumni, you will always be a part of our family. So stay in touch. We want to hear about the wonderful things you accomplish. Remember, we are here to continue to support you with ways to grow professionally and personally, ways to make an impact with your campus communities, or forge future relationships and friendships. The Alumni Association is giving you a few commemorative items as tokens of Georgia Tech to take with you. And as you set out to change the world, may your pursuits be successful, your friendships rich, and your life full of buzz. Go Jackets!
Go Jackets, indeed. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you so much. As part of our celebration today, we're proud to confer an honorary degree to someone who continues to leave a lasting mark on the Georgia Tech community. The honorary degree is the most significant honor a university can bestow on an individual, and at Georgia Tech, we hold these degrees very dear. Georgia Tech's honorary degree holders are an incredible group of individuals. The list includes President Jimmy Carter, Atlanta Mayor Ivan Allen Jr., astronaut John Young, Senator Sam Nunn, business leaders Bernie Marcus, Muhtar Kent, James Quincy, and very recently Diana Blank, whose charitable foundation, the Candida Fund, supported the creation of Georgia Tech's Candida Building for Innovative Sustainable Design, which was recognized last month as one of the greenest buildings in the world. Now, if you think that it was hard to get your Georgia Tech PhD the traditional way, and you spend 3 or 4 or 5 or maybe a few more years of hard work to earn one of these honorary degrees, sometimes it takes a lifetime of work and service. Today, we bestow Georgia Tech's honorary degree to H. Milton Stewart, a proud Georgia Tech alumnus, a very generous supporter, a visionary philanthropist, a friend, and a name many of you right here are familiar with because you just graduated from the school that carries his very name. I am going to read the citation on his honorary degree before we hood Mr. Stewart. The honorary degree citation reads, "The President and faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, to all to whom these presents may come, greetings. Whereas H. Milton Stewart is a leader in the telecommunications industry, retiring as Chief Executive Officer for Standard Telephone Company after 4 decades in the industry, who has served his alma mater admirably on numerous boards, including the Georgia Tech Alumni Association, the Georgia Tech Foundation, the H. Milton Stewart School of Industrial and Systems Engineering Advisory Board, whose transformative generosity continues to propel the nation's leading program in industrial systems engineering, which now proudly bears his name, and who, along with his wife, Carolyn, who's with us today, served as honorary chair of the public face of Campaign Georgia Tech. Now, therefore, we do hereby confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining, in witness whereof the signatures of the Chancellor of the University System and the President and Registrar of the Georgia Institute of Technology are here to subscribe, and the seal of the Institute is affixed, given in Atlanta on the 7th day of May, 2021. Let's come here to get hooded. Look that way. Milt, it's an honor, sir. It's an honor.
I'll say anything.
Thank you. No, we'll have a photo, the three of us.
Okay.
We need to savor this moment.
Well, I'd just like to thank all of you students, faculty, the staff at Georgia Tech for this great honor. I also would like to thank my family. I'm also supporting family, which is up there in the stands, three of which are students at Georgia Tech. And I'd like to wish all of you the continued success throughout your entire lives. Thank you.
What an honor, sir. Thank you so much for everything. By the way, in case you're wondering, we do expect some of you to be up here one day and go through the same routine. Don't think we're done with you. So thank you again, Milt, for everything you've done. Congratulations again. This weekend, we are celebrating 4,435 graduates who make up Georgia Tech's class of 2021, including 2,265 bachelor's degree students, 1,970 master's degree students, and this very morning, 200 PhD candidates. We're also joined by some of our 2020 graduates who were not able to join us for commencement last fall. These graduates completed their degrees in unprecedented circumstances, demonstrating the kind of resolve and perseverance that exemplifies the Georgia Tech spirit. Please join me in congratulating them for a job well done. Now, of course, success in life is seldom a one-person effort. We are immensely proud of what you have accomplished, but we all know you have not done it alone. With us today, in person or online, and our family members, friends, colleagues whose love and support have helped to make this day possible. This year, they had to deal with endless difficulties, and yet they always had your back. With us, also our faculty and staff members who have guided and mentored our graduates, offering their time, their wisdom, and expertise to help you reach your fullest potential. They too had to deal with a host of difficult personal circumstances at home, yet they did what they had to do to support and serve our students. I am honored to call these people my colleagues. Would our faculty and staff please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you. Now, true to our mission, we're proud to develop leaders who advance technology and improve the human condition. We prepare them to take on the world's greatest challenges. Over the past year, a global pandemic impacted our lives in ways that none of us could have imagined. But our graduates met these challenges head-on with the resilience, dedication, and spirit of progress and service that tie us together as Yellow Jackets. Our community crafted novel solutions to help us fight the pandemic on campus and also throughout the state and around the world. Together, we collected here on campus 325,000 samples to help us all stay safe. When asked to serve, we tested all members and staffers in our state legislature to help them conduct the people's business. We delivered more than 30,000 doses of the new vaccines. We designed and helped produce hundreds of thousands of units of personal protective equipment to keep our first responders safe. We helped the NIH test new diagnostic tools and advance new therapies in our labs. We analyzed data and developed visualization tools to help decision makers understand the spread of this disease. When our society was tested by this threat, it was clear that science and technology were essential for us to move forward, and Georgia Tech stepped up and made a difference. What we achieved together is extraordinary. We didn't just survive the pandemic. We thrived together. We supported one another. We innovated. We adapted. And we got the job done. I know that when we look back, we won't just remember a crisis we endured and we survived, but a formidable challenge we faced together. One that taught us profound lessons and made us stronger. I am immensely proud of what this community did this year, and I am forever grateful. Let's not forget what this institution is all about. We bring talented individuals together from all backgrounds, from all corners of our state, from across our nation, and from around the world. We help them grow and learn. We empower them to advance science and technology and drive change in business, in government, in science, so they can build a better world for all of us. To all of our graduates, your creativity, dedication, and accomplishments are inspiring and make us tremendously hopeful about the future. You will be forever connected to this great institution, and we cannot wait to see the great things you will do. Progress and service for all. Today, we are honored to have as our speaker an alum who represents those values. His name is Ryan Gravel. He's an author, designer, builder, and entrepreneur with a keen interest in the future of cities. Ryan's master's thesis at Georgia Tech in 1999 was the original vision for the Atlanta Beltline, which I guess we have lots of fans of here, including myself. This is for those who are visiting from out of town, do not leave Atlanta without walking a stretch of the Atlanta Beltline. It's a 22-mile greenway that over the past 15 years has altered the physical form of Atlanta, which is Ryan's native city, as well as the decisions that people make about living here. Ryan's story has been featured in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and Esquire magazine, to just name a few. He has been listed among the 100 most influential Georgians by Georgia Trend magazine and the top 25 newsmakers by Engineering News Record. Alongside his project work at Six Pitch, a consulting firm he founded in 2015, Ryan has written Where We Want to Live, a book that investigates the cultural side of infrastructure and its relationship with our lives. Ryan holds a Bachelor of Science in Architecture, as well as a Master of Architecture and Master of City Planning from Georgia Tech, and he is married to a Georgia Tech alumna. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Gravel.
Wow. Thank you, President Cabrera. You brought such a breath of fresh air to the Institute. I appreciate you inviting me here today and for those kind words. It's great to be here. Good morning, Georgia Tech. Congratulations. It's a big deal. I spent the 90s here at Tech, and wow, it is so much better looking now. Not just the campus, but look at you. How beautiful to see all this diversity and your energy. It's exciting. I remember that feeling. Like you, I worked really hard at Tech and learned a lot among all this beauty and brilliance. Tech both inspired and intimidated me. But by the time I finished, I was ready to be done. I loved going to Tech, I did. I even graduated in the same stadium. I could never imagine what would have come next. And I'll get to that, but it's an honor to be here today to share this milestone moment in your lives and to share a few thoughts as you launch yourself into your future, well, into our future. This morning is about looking forward, and you're ready. Even with all the world's problems right now, the future is bright. It really is. All the problems in our environment and business, for social and racial justice, in the way we relate and connect to each other and to the world, in our culture, economy, and politics, all those problems, they need solutions. Every problem is an opportunity to make your mark in the world. And those problems need you, and honestly, I think the world is ready to listen. I know I'm listening. Back when I finished my decade at Georgia Tech, it didn't seem like anyone was listening, but I did have an idea about my future. I was here for architecture and urban planning. I studied cities and learned how to read them, how do people use them, how they grow and develop. I got interested in how cities shape our lives and how we, in turn, can shape our cities. I learned how to envision the future of cities, reframed by ideas about the future I wanted to see. And for my thesis project, I proposed an idea that could help turn this place, this sometimes soulless, car-dependent hairball of a traffic jam that we call Atlanta, and turn it into the kind of place where I wanted to live and raise my future children. I called it the Atlanta Beltline. You might have heard of it. It's made from a 22-mile belt of old railroads circling downtown. I imagined it being transformed into a new kind of life-affirming infrastructure, an incentive for community revitalization and economic development across dozens of neighborhoods, all linked by an active and social transportation corridor. A historic barrier turned into a new public meeting ground. It was just an idea. I never thought we would actually build it. Like you, I just wanted to graduate, and I did. But that good idea followed me. I got a job designing loft apartment buildings, several of which happened to be along those same railroads. I told my coworkers about the idea I had in school, and they thought it was cool. So we started talking about the project, and the more people we talked to, the more people wanted to hear about it. We built a movement that included people of all stripes, and even though they liked the Beltline for different reasons, for its transit, trails, parks, art, health, jobs, tree canopy, housing, all of that, they saw their personal interests as part of something bigger. They actively shared the idea with their friends and neighbors, and in the process, they became authors of the vision. It was their idea, and they expanded my idea beyond what any of us thought was possible in the beginning. There's much more to the story, of course, but there's no denying that the driving force behind the project, even today, is love for an idea that connects the city together in both practical and symbolic ways. That's crazy. I mean, think about it. We had this huge, expensive, and audacious proposal for land we didn't own to be paid for with money we didn't have in a political environment that at that time was hostile to everything we were doing. If we had started by asking how we were going to pay for it, we never would have gotten it off the ground. Instead, we crafted an idea for our lives. And then we began doing the hard work of delivering that vision. And we are far from done, of course. And it's been 20 years. And it's been a tough slog in a lot of ways, personally. I'm not going to lie. But there's a lesson there. No matter how good your ideas are, when you put them out in the world, be prepared to have them crushed. At least a little. Crushed and rebuilt again, it's no fun. But it's worth it because while we need good ideas more than ever, what we really need are good ideas that can be realized. Only if you put your ideas out there, unlock them from the abstraction of your mind, or the cloud, or your thesis, and unleash them into the world, only with patience, creativity, and stamina, only if the right people hear about them and are compelled to action, only then can your ideas be tested, crushed, and then adapted to better fit the reality of the world. That's important because if good ideas can be made real, then they'll make an actual difference, not a theoretical one, not just on paper, not just in your mind or in the cloud, but for your children. Ideas that can be realized may even grow into something far better than anything you ever imagined. That's certainly true of the Atlanta Beltline. And those are the kinds of big ideas we need, big, audacious ideas that can be realized, ideas that then catalyze more ideas. Atlanta today is unrecognizable from the one I lived in when I was a student at Tech. My kids think it's perfectly normal to walk to the grocery store. And Dr. Cabrera famously rides his bicycle across town to Georgia Tech. In Atlanta, it's crazy that this is the same city. But more change is coming, whether we want it or not. And we need your ideas to shape that change so that everyone benefits, nobody gets left behind, and our lives are made better in the process. Georgia Tech has prepared you for that. You don't know what's coming next, but you're ready. You've honed your talents and skills. Your late nights and hard work have paid off. Now the time to put your ideas to the test, to put them out in the world. One last thing. One lesson from having my big dream crushed more than once. Don't wait for someone else to ask you for ideas. Some of the best solutions come from ideas that nobody is asking for, and they might change the world. Just put it out there. Believe in yourself. Do the hard work that follows. Dream bigger. Don't look back. And do it now, because we need you, and we're listening, I promise. Thank you, congratulations again, and go Jackets, sting 'em.
Thank you, Ryan. What an inspiring story. And you guys out there, be careful with your the crazy ideas that you come up with, because they may become a reality one day. We now come to the time you have all been waiting for, the PhD hooding and conferring of your degrees. The moment of walking across the stage and receiving your hood represents the culmination of much work and achievement for each one of you. I would ask that after you receive your on-stage recognition, you return to your seat and show your fellow graduates the same respect they have given you. I am pleased to welcome my colleague, Provost Stephen McLaughlin, who will present the candidates for the PhD degrees.
Candidates for doctoral degrees, please rise and remain standing. President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the PhD degree who have completed the requirement for these degrees.
So, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, and by authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer on each of you a PhD degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities hereunto appertaining Please join me in congratulating these fine new graduates of Georgia Tech, including those participating remotely. The diplomas.
Dr. Dorsa Elmi, advised by Dr. Donald Webster. Dr. Mohib Torah, advised by Nicholas M. Boulis. Dr. Oralak Pishikul, advised by Professor Lakshmi N. Sankar. Dr. David Felipe Betancourt, advised by Dr. Rafi L. Muhanna. Dr. Nicholas Scott Cryer, advised by Pamela Peralta Yaya and Andy Bomarius. Dr. Isabella Davy Sanders, advised by Benoit Montroy. Dr. Brittany Suttner.
Awarded posthumously, Ari Afshar.
Dr. Alper Yildirim, advised by Anthony J. Yezi. Dr. Yusuf Samet Yarish, advised by Levent Dierteken. Dr. Evran Fatih Arkan, advised by Dr. F. Levent de Gerteken. Dr. Jason Findley Dark, advised by Dragomir Davidovic.
Dr. Shirishan Sirikant, advised by Dr. Tom Conte. Dr. Bobbin Deng, advised by Dr. Tom Conte.
Dr. Benjamin Michael Comer, advised by Andrew J. Medford. Dr. Maxime P. Uhovko, advised by Christopher W. Jones and Pradeep K. Argaval. Dr. Claudia Wane Okonkwa, advised by Christopher W. Jones. Dr. Toya A. Pujal, advised by Nicoletta Serban. Dr. Pravada Harati, advised by Nicoletta Serban. Dr. J. Min Park, advised by Yao Yao. Dr. Pranav Gupta, advised by Farokh Ayazi. Dr. Siyang Yang Shin, advised by Farokh Ayazi. Dr. Michelle Case Krecker, advised by Vladimir Sukruk. Dr. Wen Rong Zhang, advised by Ya Jun Mei and Rachel Cummings. Dr. Jing Xu, advised by Hayes Heng Lee. Dr. Maad Mohammed Al-Owafir, advised by A.P. Sakis Meliopoulos. Dr. Chukwu Emeka Obikwelu, advised by Dr. Sakis Meliopoulos. Dr. Ejaz Sajadul Haq, advised by Kyriaki Kalaitzadu and Carl Jacob. Dr. Edward Thomas DiLoretto, advised by Kyriaki Kalaitzadu. Dr. Manali Banerjee, advised by Blair Bretman. Dr. Zahra Nasiri Tusi, advised by Matthew Torres. Dr. Sapida Parvinian, advised by Dr. Hamid Garmastani and Dr. Surya Kaladindi. Dr. Bonishika Datta, advised by Dana Randall and Magnus Egerstedt. Dr. Shreya Dwarkanath, advised by Rao Tamulla and Mark Lisigo. Dr. Yi Lee, advised by Mark D. Losego. Dr. Parisa Yousefi, advised by Brani Vidakovich and David Goldsman. Dr. Omkar Gupti, advised by Rial Tumala and Vanessa Smet. Dr. Raki Gunti Chabria, advised by Yuri Chernov. Dr. Tian Chi Zhang, advised by Will Gutekunst. Dr. Ahan Kak, advised by Dr. Ian F. Akyildiz. Dr. Shuai Nia, advised by Ian Akyildiz. Dr. Eugenia Mendez Ramos, advised by Dr. Dimitri N. Mavris. Dr. Justin Lavrenchek, advised by Dr. Stephen Ralph. Dr. Siddharth Varghese, advised by Stephen E. Ralph. Dr. Ji Woo Yu, advised by Zi Chin Lin. Dr. Parker James Singletary, advised by Morris Cohen. Dr. Afshin Abdi, advised by Faramars Fekri. Dr. Dury Lucille Lampy Long, advised by Brian McGarko.
How are you?
Dr. Shani Sharif, advised by Russell Gentry. Dr. Petinati Michael. Dr. Jun Shuan Lee, advised by Chelsea C. White III and Ben Wong. Dr. Beatrice Inanga Iya Sho, advised by Dr. Ajit Yoganathan. Dr. Shannon Emily Anderson, advised by Nick Willett and Yang Zhang. Dr. Fabrice Christopher Bernard, advised by Brandon Dixon and Nick Willett. Dr. Anish Mukherjee, advised by J. Brandon Dixon. Dr. Alexandra Atalis, advised by Krishnendu Roy and J. Brandon Dixon. Dr. Zorana Matik, advised by Craig Zimring and Ellen Dunham Jones. Dr. Hatere Hadi, advised by Dr. Craig Zimring, Dr. Sonit Bafna, and Dr. Pinar Kesnikochak. Dr. Wook Dui Mak, advised by Gabriel Abner Kwong. Dr. Sun Hae Kim, advised by Fani Ukuvala. Dr. Jian Yuan Jai, advised by Dr. Fani Ukuvala. Dr. Audrey D. Schultz, advised by Elsa Reichmanis. Dr. Brian Victor Coe, advised by Elsa Reichmanis. Dr. Natalie Tate Rice, advised by Henry LaPierre. Dr. Kirsty Ann Thompson, advised by M.G. Finn.
That's all right. It's a joyful situation. Celebration.
Dr. Ashley Poole Chapman, advised by M.G. Finn and Susan N. Thomas. Dr. Lucrezia De Pascalis, advised by M.G. Finn. Dr. Emong Leo, advised by Karsten Sievers. Dr. Petr Penev. Dr. Samantha Maria Pastolka, advised by Julie Champion. Dr. Irish L. Horsey, advised by Javier Irizarry. Dr. Nazimi Mohammad Reza, advised by Professor Mostafa El Sayed and Professor Todd Solchek. Deborah Abrams. Dr. Matthew Bobinger, advised by Matthew McDowell. Dr. Sung Yin Hun, advised by Dr. Matthew McDowell. Dr. Sue Liu, advised by John Crittenden. Dr. Bijan Knight Tarani. Dr. Ryan Alexander Barr, advised by Professor Tenzaris. Dr. Amanda Ray Cavazos, advised by Jennifer Glass. Dr. Catherine Narciso. Dr. Olivia C. Jin, advised by Joe Brown. Dr. Amanda Justine Lai, advised by Joe Brown. Dr. Daniel Benjamin Bowman, advised by Srinivas Gerimella. Dr. Bashir K. Elfil, advised by Dr. Srinivas Garimella. Dr. Christoph S. Stopka, advised by Dr. David L. McDowell. Dr. Hyanik Song, advised by Catherine Fu. Dr. Megan Jean O'Melia, advised by Susan Thomas. Dr. Lauren Faith Sestito, advised by Susan Thomas. Dr. Jesse Matthew Sestito, advised by Yan Wong and Tequila Harris. Dr. Paul Edward Burke, advised by Farzad Ranama and Umit Katalyarek. Dr. Jennifer Hill, advised by Jake Soper. Dr. Linda Nahn, advised by Dr. John Reynolds. Dr. Crystal Nicole Bell, advised by Dr. Faisal Alamgar. Dr. Sutipong Su Ta Bitug Sakul, advised by Rong Hu Wu. Dr. Feng Shu Song, advised by Rong Hu Wu. Dr. Ding Tian Zhang, advised by Gregory D. Abad. Dr. Tashia Menya Hogan, advised by Dong Liu. Dr. Elda A. Trevino, advised by Jana Temenoff. Dr. Simone Andrea Douglas, advised by Manu Platt. Dr. Laura Delaney Weinstock, advised by Levi B. Wood. Dr. Eleanor Lyons Brightbill, advised by Eric Vogel. Dr. Bo Chung Woo, advised by Adegboyega K. Oyelere. Dr. Hong Fun Lee, advised by Christian Hudra. Dr. Michael Libretto, advised by June Ueda. Dr. Samur Ahmed Sayed Ismail Mabruk, advised by Omer Inan. Dr. Ishwar Chandrasekaran, advised by Eric Gilbert. Dr. Javer Shagun. Dr. Jong Hyun Kim, advised by Dimitri Mavris. Dr. Jing Dao Chen, advised by Dr. Yong Kwan Cho. Dr. Kavya Ashok. Dr. Shreyas Kulkarni, advised by Deepak Devan. Dr. Rohit Jinsivale, advised by Deepak Divan. Dr. Yi Liu, advised by Ben Wong and Ravi Kane.
Dr. Chen Jiang, advisor Dr. Ben Wong.
Dr. Varun Amar Reddy, advised by Gordon L. Stuber. Dr. Devin John Roche, advised by Professor Jerry Chi. Dr. Run Ding, advised by Tai-Soo Kim. Dr. Sarub Kumar Jha, advised by Ari Gleaser.
Did he fall?
He was trying to get him to squat and he kept
Dr. Edwin Yoon Zur Go, advised by Jerry Seidsman.
Dr. Ian Stewart, advised by Dr. Jacob Eisenstein and Dr. D.Y. Young.
Dr. Shan Xiong, advised by Hai Long Chen. Dr. Muyank Vasant Bendarkar, advised by Dimitri Mavris. Dr. Darshan Sarojini, advised by Dimitri Mavris. Dr. Girish Mururu, advised by Dr. Santosh Pandey. Dr. Mayank Parashar, advised by Tushar Krishna. Dr. Zachary Duca, advised by Amanda Stockton. Dr. Paul Lachlan Balding, advised by Paul Russo. Dr. Graham Dalton Baker Parkinson, advised by Paul Russo. Dr. Alyssa Michelle Blake, advised by Paul S. Russo. Dr. Min Liang Liu, advised by Wee Sun and H. Jerry Key. Dr. Kartik Kotari, advised by Dr. Martin Maldavan. Dr. Kalina Panovska, advised by James Dahlman. Dr. Melissa Prasangi Loku Gamage, advised by Dr. James Dahlman. Dr. Ramyad Hadidi, advised by Haisoon Kim. Dr. Prasan Gera, advised by Professor Haisoon Kim. Dr. Bahar Askari, advised by Haisoon Kim and Sudhakar Yala Manchili. Dr. Pratayan Barua, advised by Vivek Sarkar. Dr. Yi Jan Zhang, advised by Dr. Iris Tien. Dr. Arvind Krishna, advised by Roshan Joseph. Dr. Chung Chi, advised by Gregory Durgan. Dr. Mahid Ahadi Dolatsera, advised by Madhavan Swaminathan. Dr. Haki Mert Torun, advised by Madhavan Swaminathan. Dr. Vedant Nair, advised by Timothy Liu Wen. Dr. Hannah Iek, advised by Timothy Liu Wen. Dr. Christopher Mark Douglas, advised by Timothy Luen. Dr. Nikhil Raj, advised by Dennis Hess and Victor Breedveld. Dr. Muhammad Ali, advised by Rao Tumala. Dr. Marguerite Mathern, advised by David Hugh. Dr. Alexander Boping Lee, advised by David Hu. Dr. Atiya Shah, advised by Dr. Patricia Mokhtarian. Dr. Ali Ettazadi, advised by Patricia Mokhtarian and Giovanni Circella.
Dr. Ashish Vijalani. Advised by Dr. Yumika Shore Ramachandran.
Dr. Taylor A. James, advised by Audrey Duarte. Dr. Emily Crystal Hoquette, advised by Audrey Duarte. Dr. Alexander Ranyon Murphy, advised by Julie Lindsay. Dr. Jonathan Kugel, advised by Dr. Jason Kwong. Dr. Woody Cheng, advised by Alenka Zajic and Milos Pruvalovic. Dr. April Gadsby, advised by James Tsai and Carrie Watkins. Dr. David John Ederer, advised by Carrie Watkins. Dr. Arjun Srinivasan, advised by John Stasko.
Dr. John Thompson, advised by Dr. John Stasko.
Dr. Abhilasha Jairam Saroj, advised by Dr. Michael Hunter. Dr. Harsh Srivastav, advised by Srinivas Aluru. Dr. Yua Shu, advised by J. David Frost and Susan E. Burns. Dr. Chung Sun Kim, advised by Dr. Oliver Brand. Dr. Gabriel Kahn, advised by Olivier Pierron, Antonia Antoniou, and Samuel Graham. Dr. Shruti Venkatram, advised by Rampi Ramprasad. Dr. Paritosh Parnad Ramanan, advised by Nagi Gabriel and Edmund Chow. Dr. Jian Feng Zhou, advised by Xing Xie. Dr. Rator Sabagya Singh, advised by Jian Luo and Aris Georgakakos. Dr. Rakshit Sharma Srinivasa, advised by Justin Romberg. Dr. Young Jo Kim, advised by Martha A. Grover, Ronald W. Rousseau, and Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Dr. Chiamaka Obiano, advised by Martha Grover and Nicholas Hudd.
Dr. Celine Irvin, advised by Dean Rahim Bia. Dr. G. Lo Sale.
Dr. Syed Saad Javed, advised by Christopher Milstein. Dr. Asif Rana, advised by Sonia Chernova. Dr. Lakshmi Nair, advised by Sonia Chernova. Dr. David Eben Kent, advised by Sonia Chernova. Dr. Lara J. Martin, advised by Mark Riddell. Dr. Jessica Annette Pater, advised by Elizabeth Minot. Dr. Amber Shanice Solomon. Dr. Lucia Marisol Villacres Falconi. Dr. Jacob P. Mish, advised by Stephen H. Spriggle.
Well, this concludes the award of the doctoral degrees, and please join me in congratulating these fine new graduates of Georgia Tech. Congratulations. I would ask our graduates and our audience to please rise and remain standing as the platform party recesses. Then I invite you all to join in the singing of our fight song. Thank you for attending this morning, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you all.
Can you feel it? Now it's coming.